just a job. Farming is a way of life. A desolate land is a land thirsty of farmers. And because we know how important farmers are to every nation, that's why we reintroduce to you the Voice of the Farmers. Voice of the Farmers is a media brand that celebrates, educates, and promotes farmers with constant trainings and guide on how best to be a successful farmer. We also link farmers to the right markets to sell their produce and to the right marketers. Voice of the Farmers is active on Facebook, Instagram, and Thread at Voice of the Farmers. We are also on YouTube at Voice of the Farmers TV. For more inquiry on how to link up with Voice of the Farmers, please call 0907 872 8228 or 0706 662 8752. Voice of the Farmers. We celebrate, educate, and promote farmers.
Yes, we celebrate, educate, and promote farmers, and definitely that is what we do at Voice of the Farmer. Good evening, wherever you're watching me from. My name is Garuba Fizolumide. I'm the founder of Voice of the Farmer, and you have always been seeing my face around. This is what I do. This is what I love doing. I love seeing how I can promote farmers and link them to market and let people know what they do. And that is why we have someone in the studio with us today. It's just back to back. We started day before yesterday. We did something yesterday, and today again we are doing something with someone today again. I think that is something that's spectacular. But today it's something that you don't even know that it's something that people can add value to, and that is what we're talking about. It is what we call mushrooms. Yes, mushroom. That's that thing. I think in our own local language we call it olu. Yes, we call it olu. I don't know what to call it at your own side there. What is the name that you call it in your own local language? So I think we call it olu at our own, but it is something that is common. Sometimes I will just be walking around the bush and I will see some things, so something going on from maybe wood, a log of wood that is on the ground. I was like, what is this? I think I've tasted it some times ago, but I can't even remember how it feels. But I think it's something that we want to talk about today. But it is now beyond what you think now. We are saying mushroom, 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 mushroom. Mushroom is not just mushroom now. It is something that people are making money from. They are making millions of naira from. They are even exporting mushroom outside the country. And that is why we have in the studio with us this evening again. She'll be talking to us about mushroom. Yes, she'll be talking to us about mushroom, how she started the journey, and what even inspired her to go into the journey. And we're looking at a review about our product and how people can get our products. That is what we do. And trust me, these are young ladies, these are young women in their good space that are doing very great. And that is why we are also trying to support and see how we can promote what they do. Let me just go at the back end and bring her on board so that she'll be able to talk to us about what she do. Yes, I think she's at the back end. She'll be talking to us about what she does, and definitely you will definitely want to hear from her. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening.
Hi, Olumide. I'm
How
very
are you?
excited to be here. Thank you for having
Yes.
me here.
Yes, I'm happy to also host you as well. Well done. It's very awesome. Sometimes we don't even know we are friends already on Twitter, and that is on X. But we just stumble on ourselves maybe as a member of Agri Innovation Club. But definitely we don't know we've been following ourselves before. That is just the
Mhm.
power of social media. Now for the people that are meeting you for the first time, and I think they want to know who you are and what you do. So kindly introduce yourself, ma'am.
Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Africa. Hello to the world. My name is Etimbuk Imuk. I'm the founder of Eti Farms Global. Eti Farms Global, we are all about improving the health, well-being, and nutrition of people through the cultivation, processing, and distribution of edible mushrooms. Yes,
Mm,
thank you.
mm. Now, I love that simple introduction. It's not just about lengthy words now. You just need to pass a message, and people definitely need to understand you. Now, before we start talking about what we want to talk about today, I think I want to ask a question. We have edibles and non-edibles mushrooms. Now, I think, on my show, I will always love people to learn from it. Even if we are doing a product branding, we are talking about your products, but we should learn something from it. So, how do we identify the edible mushrooms?
Okay, thank you very much. So I feel that question, when they say to eat healthy is important, but to stay alive while eating healthy is important. You know that what I mean, right? So eating
Mm,
mushrooms is amazing, right? But knowing and eating the edible ones, right, it's like what makes the whole difference, right? So they are edible and they are non-edible mushrooms. And by non-edible mushrooms, of course, This simply means that once you consume, there are a series of side effects you could have from hallucination, vomiting, diarrhea, and in extreme cases, right, it could be fatal, right? So there are different ways you could tell which mushrooms, right, is edible and which is not edible, right? But in a situation whereby you're like buying from a supermarket, you know that whatever is being sold, right, is edible. But let's say you bump into a mushroom either at the back of your house, in your garden, and right, you're like wondering, is this edible? Is this not edible? Right? There are a few things to look out for. Now, I'm not saying this is all you should look out for and go out there and go start foraging mushrooms, right? Because they're still poisonous look alike, right? There's still those who mimic and look like the edible ones that are not edible, right? But in very simple and clear terms, one of the easiest way to know which mushroom is edible and which is not edible is regular mushrooms have, so there is the leafy part, which is the floral part, right? And then there is the stalk, which is like the stem of the mushrooms, right? So those are like the two parts of the mushrooms you see. Most of the mushrooms have with stalk, right? They don't have any form of rings around the stalk. So it's just a straight long stalk. That's to a very large extent tells you that that mushroom is edible. And then the ones that have a ring, so it looks like a ring around the stalk, it sends a message that 90% of mushrooms that have like a ring around their stalk are not edible. They are poisonous. That is not saying that there are a few minor ones that are edible, right? But if 90% of the mushrooms with rings around their stalk are not edible, why bother, right? So just stay clear. Now, apart from that, I know that most cartoons you would see whenever they're representing mushrooms, you'd see like the red cap with white dots on it. So that's always like in cartoons, that's like the graphic
Yes,
representation
exactly,
of mushrooms.
exactly, exactly.
So any mushrooms that has colors beyond brown, beyond white, beyond off-white are poisonous mushrooms. So when mushrooms are red, when mushrooms are pink, that shows you that it's like a warning call, I'm not edible, right? So that's another thing. And then some are white, right? Some are white or off white, but once you touch, you just touch either the leafy part or the floral part or the stem, it turns slightly pink or red. That is also a sign that it is not edible. You should stay away from it. Beyond all of this, I say this again, right? If you do not know about mushrooms, it is best to stay away from foraging mushrooms, because we've had people who have had serious issues, right? Foraging mushrooms. It's best to buy from a trusted source and just be sure that whatever you're consuming is safe and is meant to be eaten. So, yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. We have not even started talking about your products, but you've given us a lot of information about the mushroom. That is awesome. Sometimes I wonder. I don't even know the one to eat. That is why I always run away from mushroom, because I know they are
Mhm.
poisonous ones. So I don't know. I think with what you said now, I will look out for that, and at least to some extent, I should be able to know that yes, this one is edible or not edible. Now, you see. I always wonder. I think since day before yesterday, when I've been hosting some people, I think ladies, you guys are doing very good. I must just commend your efforts. I even saw your brand as well. I think it's awesome. You see your color combination and everything is awesome. Yes, you guys are doing a very great job. Now, let me just ask this question: what inspired you to choose mushroom? We have other raw materials that you can always work with now. Mushroom of all things. Like, why do you now choose mushroom? So, what inspired you to go like, okay, I want to use mushroom as my raw material and come out with some products from mushrooms?
Okay, well, I think I think I this is like the most question I hear, right? Because it's not so out there. So I always hear why mushrooms, why mushrooms, why mushrooms, right? And well, I had a personal experience with mushrooms growing up, right? Um, I was asthmatic. It's a very long story, but I'll just try to make it as brief as possible, right? So I was asthmatic. and conventional treatment wasn't really affordable at the time, right? And in one of the research and visits to a doctor, mushrooms was recommended that it would
Mm,
help if incorporated into my meal over a period of time. And like I always say, if you're a father or if you're a mother and someone tells you that, there's a possibility of something helping your daughter, that child is in trouble because
mm.
breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper,
Exactly.
snack, in fact, you have to bait with it, right? Right.
Mm,
So,
that's true.
and we knew at the time that mushrooms grew on decaying wood in the bush during the rainy season and things like that. So what we did was we fell a mango tree, and over a period of time, um, oyster mushrooms began to grow on it, right? And
Mm,
it was incorporated into my meal as much as possible, and then having this consistently for a period of 7 to 8 years, right? I didn't have an attack any longer, right? And
mm,
it dawned on me when I had the drugs I do take for a period of time. I just bumped into them and they were pretty much still complete, right? The set was still complete. And my mom asked, when was the last time you had an attack? Because I went to a boarding school. So when I came back and she was arranging my bags, she noticed that the drugs were still pretty much intact. And that was like, oh, okay. Okay, I would really have to take notes and see if I would have any attacks, and it just never came. Coming
mm,
to Lagos for youth service, I searched for mushrooms, and I realized that what I found in supermarkets were mostly canned mushrooms, and the taste wasn't really what I was used to. And then because I really wanted something I could connect with and something I'm really used to. So I did my research and realized that mushrooms could be cultivated, and I just felt, who else, right? Who else if not
mm.
me,
Should go
right?
into it.
Yeah.
Mm, that's true.
So that was like a wake up call for me, and then I that was how I started Farms Global, and here we are today.
Yes, awesome, awesome. I think your story is almost the same thing with what Miriam said and what Deborah said too. They were like trying to provide a solution to your problem. Now, I think this one, your own is just personal. I think their own was like their brother, their family member, but yours is personal. Being an asthmatic patient and looking for solution. And that is always funny. When your parents know that this is going to be the solution to your problem, they can even use overdose, like just give you
Of
like anyhow,
course.
anyhow. But thank God it really worked, and at least you are here today. I think it's something
Yeah.
that definitely it works for you. So, in case you don't know, I think this is a producer of a mushroom product. What she does, she owns a brand called Etimbuk Global Limited, and what she does is using mushroom as a product, as a raw material to come up with different products. So we'll be talking about those products now. But I think what she said now is just that you already have an let me say an idea about what mushroom will do for you now. If you're an asthmatic patient, I think you need to
Mhm.
understand and know that you need mushroom in some of your meal that you're taking. And I think this is a good one because she just shared a testimony now that yes, she had an attack. She was a asthma patient, but when she starts taking mushroom according to what the doctor said, but she did not have attack again, and that was what even inspired her to say, yes, I want to go into this now. Now, my question is this: I think you spoke about it the other time too. Now, I wanted to ask that: can mushroom be cultured? You said it that it always grow maybe on the tree, on anything, any wood, log of wood, and anything like that. But now, can it be cultured? And if it can be cultured, can you just? I'm not saying you should give us the secret behind it. Now, I know it's just your secret. It is your own A game. But can you just tell us that yes, this thing is culturable, and how do we go about it? Definitely, we are going to be partnering on something very soon. We are going to be training some students about this. I pray it works very well. But I just want to have an idea about can we culture mushroom, and if it is possible, how do we go about that?
Okay, thank you very much. So that is a very important question, right? Mushrooms, just like every other thing, can be cultured, right? It can be cultured. And the
Hmm.
beautiful part about mushroom cultivation is that a lot of times I hear people say, "Oh, well, it's filled with chemicals, is this, is that," but I'm always so proud to say that mushrooms is one of the things on earth you can cultivate from end to end without the use of any growth enhancer, right? No
Hmm.
no synthetic fertilizer, no, everything from beginning to the end of mushroom cultivation is natural. So how do we culture mushrooms? It's very simple. So we use sawdust, right? We use sawdust. So sawdust is like, it's a waste gotten from wood, right? So it's a wood shaving, right?
Hmm.
Most of the time, this is being burnt. In some of the places, this is being burnt, causing greenhouse gas emission, or it's being thrown into the river, water bodies, and all of this still leads to, you know, greenhouse gas emission, pollution of water bodies, or air pollution, and all of that. So this sawdust is used as a growth medium, right, to cultivate and culture mushrooms. And another interesting part about this is, this whole the process from cultivation to harvest is around 2 months, right? So within a
Hmm.
period of 2 months, you can begin to harvest your own mushrooms, right? It's pretty straightforward. You don't need hectares of land, right? You could have this at the balcony, at your backyard, you know, you could just do this in your own space, and it just works for you, right? So it is one of the easiest thing to do. I mean, it is pretty straightforward and anybody can do this.
Yes, thank you very much for that. I as an advocate for people to start farming, especially backyard farming, I believe in growing
Mhm.
what you eat. I think this is another opportunity for people to know that yes, mushroom is just 2 months and it can be grown at our backyard. So, people, if you are watching us live, please, these are some of the things that you can do at your backyard. It is something that can even fetch you money as well. So, let me just read out this comment. I think I saw Mr. Nuruddin Tiamiyu. He said, "Well done." And I see Joseph Yemase from Badagry. He said, "Well done, Etimbuk." Now, I think, please, I want to beg everybody that was watching this video, please just share this video. Help us share this video. Help us make sure you share this video, like, comment, and at least react on this video. Yes, Joseph said, "Converting waste to wealth." That is just it. Like, I mean, he was talking about the sawdust. That what you think is a waste now, it is now turned to wealth. That is a good one from you. Now, I'm going back to you now. You've taken us through the process of making mushroom, and I think that is a good one. And you also let us know that we can start that at our backyard too. Now, let's talk about
Mhm.
your products. Now, I can see you have lot of products. I think before you start talking, let me just show some of these products to people to know that yes, this is not just a joke, or maybe I'm not just joking, or maybe something. Let's see. This is I think this is dried shiitake
Shiitake, yeah.
shiitake mushroom. Sorry, I don't go to school. I think another one is lion mane mushroom. Oh god, this is serious. Oh. Another one is this again. We have mushroom powder. Another one is this again, dried king oyster mushroom. See, you guys are doing very wonderful. You are doing a great job. Look at this one again. This is dry oyster mushroom again. You see, this is something that is great. These are some of the products that you guys come up with when it's come to mushroom. Now, this is awesome, and I must commend your effort again. This your branding of a thing is something that is top notch. Well done for that. Now, can you take us through some of the products that you get from mushroom? And I can see you are having something like oyster. Can you just explain to us what does that mean and what are the products that you get from mushroom?
All right, thank you very much. So, to make it very simple and straightforward, right? The primary products are, so we have the fresh mushrooms, the dried mushrooms, and the mushroom powder, and all of these are targeted to different people. So the idea is to make it convenient for anybody and everybody to be able to incorporate mushrooms into their diet, right? So, in as much as mushrooms
Hmm.
are fungi, but in the culinary sense, it could be used as a vegetable, or it could be used as a protein source, a meat replacement, or a food fortifier, right? So the fresh mushrooms works very well in soups, stews. So you could use fresh mushrooms in making just about anything. And now we took it a step further, right? To process it into the dried form. So we have a lot of people, because fresh mushrooms actually have a very short shelf life of less than a week. So we want everybody to be able to have mushrooms and be able to consume it in any part of the world, right? So converting it into the dried form using a dehydrator. So every nutrient is still very much intact, and it tastes just like the fresh once it is rehydrated. So the dried one could be used in diverse ways, right? You could make mushroom suya, you could make mushroom shawarma, you could make mushroom pie, you could use it in cooking, just your soups, your stew, just about anything. Now we realize that there were some people who either their kids or themselves, either they do not have time to cook all the time. We are now busy professionals, they don't have time, and either they don't cook all the time, or they have kids that are picky eaters, or there are people who feel mushroom is bland, or they can't cook. They don't get the desired taste when they cook mushrooms, right? We decided to have the powdered product for them. So the powder variant allows them to have or take mushroom on the go, right? So the powdered mushrooms could be added to your tea, your smoothie, your juice, your milkshake, whatever it is, your coffee, right? So, and the beautiful thing about this is it doesn't get to change the taste of anything you're adding it to. So if you
Mm.
have a picky eater for a child and you just add a teaspoon of mushroom powder to his or her tea, the child will never know you've added anything extra, right? But you're providing the child with all the nutrients, the vitamins, and let me mention this before I forget, right? Mushroom is the only plant source. So it's not a plant, but I'm using the word plant because, like, you cultivate it. Mushroom is the only plant source that gives vitamin D, right? So vitamin D is gotten from the sun, like sunlight, when they say go out and get vitamin D in early morning hours of the day, right? So mushroom gives
Mm.
vitamin D. So if there's someone due to lifestyle, so someone that from AC house to AC car to AC office, you don't even get to have time to be under the sun, right? We have doctors recommending mushrooms for such people just to help boost their vitamin D intake. But it doesn't limit just to them, right? Every one of us, there are parts of the country that have more sunlight, or the world that have more sunlight than the other. Others have less than the others. So incorporating mushrooms into their meal is a good way to boost your vitamin D intake, right? So the powdered mushrooms just enable them to have mushrooms in their meal without actually cooking, right? Or eating a meal, right? If you're having a juice, you could just throw that in there, and then your food is fortified. So that is what the powder works for. And it could also be used as soup thickener. It could also be used as spice in cooking. So it just adds these very nice umami flavors to your food. So we cater to everyone. If you don't love the taste of mushrooms, then the mushroom powder is for you. And if you're someone who growing up you enjoyed mushrooms like myself, but you don't have access to mushrooms now, we enable you relieve those memories by buying the dried or the fresh ones to really enjoy yourself, right?
To be sincere with you, I'm speechless because now you made me understand and you took me back to when I was serving in Ekiti. That was 2017. I have a friend then that his name is Ahmed. I just remember, the guy is from Ekiti, like he's an indigenous of Ekiti. So anytime we just go to the bush in the morning, go and take that mushroom. That was where I know mushroom very well. We would just tear it like this, and we just put it
Yeah,
into
ready.
okra soup.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
when the guy cook okra, see, I always bite myself when I'm eating that okra because what made me to go there is that you said something about alternative to meat. Sometimes people that stay in the village, it's not every time they eat
Mhm.
meat. They will just go
Yeah.
to the bush and get mushroom. Mushroom when you are eating it is just thick and it looks like just
Yeah.
maybe you are eating meat. And I think that is a good one for me, which is a good one. I think that is a good one. Now, I also said something about mushroom shawarma, mushroom suya. I was like, kilo shele. Just mushroom, no. This is serious. So I think I'm hearing this for the first time. This is something I want my people to know more about. This is something that is awesome. Now, I think this is a good one for me. So let me just ask you this question because we'll just go on a short break now. Do you have a team you work with? And have you been able to meet your demand?
Okay, thank you very much. So, yes, of course, I have a team I work with. I definitely cannot do this alone, right? So, I didn't start out with a team. Yeah, I know that this stemmed out of a personal experience, but I wanted to be sure that it's not just a problem in my head, that is actually a problem that people need mushrooms, right? I wanted to be sure. So I did advocacy around mushrooms and how you could use mushrooms, the health benefit of mushrooms. And then when people started coming around to ask, where can I get? I said, oh, you could buy from me, right? I found a farm I could buy mushrooms from. So I was just doing buying and selling, right? At the time, I was buying and selling. And up until the point where I was disappointed on a regular because the farm could no longer meet my demand, right? So at that point I felt okay. At this point, I definitely am sure that I can go into having my own farm, right? And having my own farm, we have a greenhouse where we grow our mushrooms. So having that, I have a team of women who we work on the farm, who we do the processing and then the distribution of the mushrooms. So all of this is just to encourage and really support women in my community, and then really put our hands together to get this out there. So yes, I have a team and we do this together. I won't be able to have 78 supermarkets and handle all of this alone. And going to the parts, if I'm able to meet demand, right? No, the big question, the answer to the question is no, we are not able to meet demand, right? I started from where the person I was buying from to resell was not able to meet my demand, and we started our farm in 2019. And with COVID in 2020, it kind of blew the whole thing in our faces, because everybody was looking for a means to boost their immune system. I remember a guy offering me vitamin C in a bus, and I said, oh, instead of having vitamin C, why don't you take mushrooms? Because mushrooms could actually boost your immune system. So that was the message we actually put out there, and it really created a lot of buzz, and a lot of people really embraced mushrooms. So it literally moved us from point A to point M or N, right? And we were not able to meet demand. So we started searching for other farmers. After a while, it seemed as though the frustration was getting really serious. We decided to have a network of outgrowers, right? People we train, either farmers who were already growing mushrooms on a very small scale, but were not able to meet the demand, we're not able to get markets for their mushrooms, right? We started to
Market.
connect with them, right? Yeah, connect with them and then offtake from them. And then all the people who we train as well, because we also have the training arm to the business. So where we carry out trainings. So when we train you and then you start up your farm, we buy off you, right? Just to help you create the market up until you're able to find your fit. So all of this has been what we've been using to really not really feel the impact. But as we grow, we celebrated 5 years in August this year. So as we grow, there's still room for more expansion, because we are unable to really meet demand with the supermarkets, the restaurants, and food processors we currently work with. So there's definitely room for growth, there's room for expansion, and there's room for a lot more.
Yes, thank you very much. Before I say anything, let us just go on this short break. We'll be right back.
E pass wetin you go just break, e comot, e chop, abi you soak garri. Yes o, coconut e pass chop chop. Coconut na one fruit wey everything for im body plus e pass wetin you go
Hello,
just
can
break,
you hear
e
me?
comot, e chop, abi you soak garri. Yes o, coconut e pass chop chop. Coconut na one fruit wey everything for im body plus even the shell e get important use. You sef no know ba? Na why you gat to patronize TUJ coconut products. TUJ coconut products na 100% from coconut. Talk about coconut oil wey dem dey use treat arthritis, coconut oil for cooking, coconut flour, coconut chips, coconut swallow, coconut oil, cold press and hot press, plus all the coconut products wey you dey find. Our head office
is day number 12, Adebowale Caroline Street, off Winner Street, Aradagun, Badagry. We also dey deliver for anywhere for inside Naija, abi outside Naija. All you need to do na to call us abi chat us for this number 0806 475 4853 0806 475 4853. Abi make you follow us for all our social media pages at TUJ Coconut. TUJ Coconut products na chiamo for different better coconut products wey you dey find.
Yes, welcome back from that short break. So sorry, I think the network is somehow fluctuating here. Yes, if you are just joining us, please kindly help us to share this video. Make sure you like, make sure you react. And I want you to also drop your comments. What is your experience with mushroom? Do you buy mushroom on the street? Do you grow them? How do you feel? How do you identify the best mushroom according to what you said at the beginning of the program? And I think before I go back to that, there is a question here that say, can we take the mushroom powder without cooking it? I think the person asked the question, and I think the answer is yes. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes, that means you can take mushroom powder without cooking it. Now, I'm going back straight to you. You think you let me just be sincere with you. Your story, everything you are saying is inspiring, and I think it's something that someone needs to go into as well. But I love the fact that you said you have a team of women and you also train people and you often from them. And I think I learned something from you yesterday where you said before you go into production, the first thing you need to do is market before
Mm-hmm.
production. Make sure you identify your market that yes, I have where I'm selling my stuff to before you say yes, I want to
Mm-hmm.
produce. Let the market be the determinant of your production. Because when you are producing and you don't have where to sell it to, then definitely you get frustrated and you start saying agriculture is not good, oh, this thing is not, and they said we should do agriculture. No, get your market first. Then before you now say yes, you want to go into the production aspect of it. Now, you've what I want to ask you, you've mentioned this, but I think I want you to just reiterate and at least talk more about it. Now, for people to know that, I myself, I can't even remember the last time I ate mushroom. That was when I was serving 2017. Now, for you to convince me that I think I need to get your product, even if I don't have mushroom at the back of my house, and it's very, very difficult for me to even identify which one is poisonous and which one is good. Now, can you just tell us some of the health benefits of mushroom? Now, you think even for the old, for the younger generation, for anybody, you just need mushroom so that at least I know that yes, tomorrow I can put a call across to Etim and say, okay, I need like maybe 2 bags or maybe like two of your this thing, maybe powder or something. So yeah, convince me. Let me know what are the health benefits of mushroom.
Okay, so the health benefits of mushrooms are enormous, right? So first is that mushrooms is a protein source, right? Mushroom is a protein source. So with mushrooms in your meal, you know that you have protein in it. Another thing is mushroom is very good on fiber. It has dietary fiber, which is very good for your gut health, is very good for your bowels movement, for digestion. And then it is also packed loads with antioxidants, right? It helps, it boosts your immune system. It has a lot of antioxidants that keep your system or your immune boosted at all times. Apart from this, you also have tons of vitamins and minerals in mushrooms, right? Mushroom has a lot of vitamins. So I mentioned earlier that mushroom has vitamin D, one of the very important vitamins that helps the body convert and use convert zinc to calcium in the body that helps work with your bones and other very important functionings of the body. Yes, mushroom has that. And then mushroom is very good with managing your blood pressure or your blood sugar level. Not to sound too technical, right? But mushroom is a food with low glycemic index. So what this simply means is that mushroom does not spike up your blood sugar when you eat, or when you eat meals with mushrooms, right? It keeps your sugar level low. In as much as this is perfect for everybody, it is fantastic for diabetic patients, right? So if you're looking for foods that would keep your sugar level low, mushroom does the magic, right? And this is not just me throwing words around. We are working currently with doctors, nutritionists who recommend mushrooms to their patients, right? Who recommend mushrooms to their patients to use as a means to reduce their blood sugar, as a means to manage their blood pressure, right? So it is what works. It is something that has been scientifically proven. And another thing I always love to say is, we eat meat every day, because we want to get protein, right? You don't say I ate meat on Monday, so I won't eat meat until Friday because the meat on Monday has given me protein, right? The same thing with any kind of food you're eating. If you're eating or taking anything as a form of you're hoping to gain the health benefits from that thing, I am a big believer that you should have this at all times or continuously in your meal. And in a situation whereby you feel okay, oh, it's not possible or it's a bit tricky, that is why we have the mushroom powder, right? So if you're specifically looking to take mushrooms for a particular reason, I always recommend that at least once a day, a meal you take should have mushrooms, either in whole dry, either in fresh, dried, or powdered form. So mushroom has all these health benefits. It helps to manage the blood sugar. It helps to manage your blood pressure. It has loads of potassium, which is good for cardio health, the heart health, the gut health. So all of these amazing things and even much more mushroom health. It's also very good in managing weight, right? Because meals with mushrooms keeps you satisfied for longer periods of time, and then you feel light as against like you actually feel light when you eat meals with mushrooms, and it keeps you satisfied for a longer period of time, so you don't feel like snacking in between. And this actually helps you really manage and have a good weight, right? So yeah, all of these are the health benefits of mushrooms and many more.
Yes, I before I say my comment about what you just said now, I want to ask you a question. What is your background? Is it in medicine? Is it what's your background like?
Oh, okay. I actually studied agriculture. I'm a graduate of agriculture from the University of Calabar.
Hmm. Why I asked that question was that because when you are telling me the health benefit, I didn't mean we are in the same hotel. I will have said I think I need to get that mushroom powder now. Because you made me to understand that yes, there are a lot of benefits that I need to get from mushroom. Well done, that is a good one from you. Now, I think people that are watching us probably they might be wondering what are they even talking about. So, and I think I want to show your product, and I think people should be able to see what this product is all about. This is what we call king oyster mushroom. We have the other one. We have the mushroom powder. That was the one she was talking about. That in case maybe you don't want to cook, maybe you don't have that time. Mushroom powder is something that you can always work with. And she also said something which I took note of. She said at least you should make sure maybe in a day, any of the meal that you're going to be taking a day should have mushroom because it has a lot of health benefit. So and she also have this is mushroom. Okay, lion's mane mushroom. This is, I think, probably she's going to explain this to us. I think we have this one again. What is this one? Call this one shiitake or what is this?
Shiitake, yeah, shiitake or
Okay,
shiitake is yeah,
okay,
shiitake.
shiitake mushroom. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
she have this one again too. She have this dried oyster mushroom. These are some of the products that she have, and I think they are awesome. I want to believe, and I promise that before I go back to Nigeria, I will definitely get. I think maybe the that powder. How much is it? How do you sell?
Okay, so 100 grams of the mushroom powder is 4,200.
4,200. I think that's the fair enough. At least it's fine, 100 grams. So I think I will get one for my baby. Probably just for let me just see how it's going to be. I think these are the products that we have from Etim Farm Global Limited. What they do is just anything mushroom. They also train. They do capacity building. They do a lot of things when it comes to mushrooms. They come up with different products. In case you are just joining us, yes, we've been talking about mushroom, about what you need to know about mushroom. And we also talk about how to identify and how to know the best mushroom to eat, that is the edible one to eat. So now, before I will allow her to go, because we've been able to have more than 38 minutes to talk about mushroom, that means it is not just
Mhm.
mushroom, there is more to mushroom. I said it, that
Yeah.
it is not just mushroom. I think that is a rhyme. It is not just mushroom, there is more to mushroom. That is a good one. Now, I want to believe we are both in Kigali for African Food Forum Summit. And I think we've been able to learn a lot. We've been able to network. We've been able to at least connect, collaborate, and that was what even prompted and at least make both of us to meet ourselves. So and that was I think is a good one. So you as a young lady, you as a young entrepreneur, you as a young agripreneur, what would be your advice? some of our youth are getting it wrong. Let me just tell you the fact. We keep saying there is no job in the country. Now, the main reason why I asked that question, that are you meeting your demand, is that, probably maybe if you say, we can meet our demand, I will say, don't even bother to go into that business. I think the place is saturated already. But you said it that you are unable to meet your demand. That means there are still a lot of opportunities that are yet to be untapped, that are yet to be scratched. That means some of our youth can play a big role in this. I do say this every time, that agriculture is just something that is very big, that contain almost everybody. When I was talking to Miriam yesterday, Miriam was a lawyer. She's still a lawyer, but she diversified into food processing. She does something with dates. You as a youth as well, and according to what you said, mushroom is just 2 months, and you don't need big space. You don't need to have a big farm. Why can't you start something with that? So I think I should let you say something about this. What is your advice? What would be your advice to our young generation, to our younger generation that don't even believe in agriculture, that they think it is just still for poor, and it's still for the dirty men, or maybe the dirty woman. So what is your advice as a young entrepreneur?
So first things first, I believe that there's this saying that seeing is believing, right? I've been in this business for the past 5 years, full time. So it's not a part-time thing, it's full-time, right? And I have seen the potentials that this has and where it is going. We're in an era whereby food is becoming a global phenomenon. It has always been, right? But right now people are a bit more conscious, a bit more intentional about their health, about their diet, and it is even becoming a bigger industry, right? If you want to make it glamorous, yes, it can be glamorous, it can be beautiful, but you just need to be able to be ready to put in the work, right? I'm still a youth, of course, right? I'm a youth and I've been doing this and it has been rewarding, right? You don't need to study agriculture. I always say this. You don't need to study agriculture, right? You don't need to have a father that was a farmer. At this point, as a youth, all you need is the determination that you want to do it. And trust me, it has gone beyond getting your hands dirty. It is now about working smart, right? With mushrooms, you do not you don't need you don't need so much space, right? And the beautiful thing about these days is everybody does not need to be on the field. This is something we need to know. I have people who are vendors with us who do not grow mushrooms. They only buy and sell, and they are making a lot of money, right? It is now, so you spoke about Miriam. Miriam is not on the field. She's in agro processing, and the agro processing industry is becoming it's becoming $1 trillion industry, right? So you could plug into any of these value chain and make serious money from it. It is just about the determination to start something. Just decide that you want to start something. There are a lot of grants flying around. Some and lots of them fund ideas, right? So it's just about what are you interested in doing? What do you want to do? Right. And if you're thinking about or considering after this session, considering mushrooms, please, I would say a big yes to it. It is something that you can do. It is worth doing. It is profitable. Yes, I say that again. It is profitable to do. And I strongly recommend, if you're interested in playing in any of the value chains in mushrooms, or if you do not even know what value chains are in the mushroom space and you want to know more about it, yeah, my number is on the screen. Please reach out and I'll be more than happy to share with you the different value chains that exist in the mushroom space and which you can key into. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. I will say this, that there is a popular saying that says you may need a lawyer once in your lifetime, and probably you may need a doctor maybe once in a year, but every day you need a farmer. Now, why I'm saying this is that if you are thinking of what you need to do, what you want to do to make money in this life, I think one thing that should come to your head is agriculture, because people must eat. I think the general language that all of us understand is I am hungry. No matter
Yes.
how, Yes, definitely. When hunger enter, they say an hungry man is an angry man. And what's the solution to hunger is food. That is what it. So if you are in the food sector and you are doing something in the food sector, trust me, you are going to definitely make money from it. And according to what she said as well, we should not just be looking at production alone. It's not just all about production. We have other roles that you can play. You can play in the role of logistics, you can play in the role of
Yeah.
distribution, you can play in the role of maybe marketing and at least linkage and everything like that. You just need to be innovative and come up with different ideas from your own end as well. So please, youth out there, I'm telling you that there are still space, there are opportunities that, this thing is somehow very well in place. So you as a youth there, please try at this. And another thing is just that you can be a lawyer and you are still a farmer. You can be a doctor and you are still a farmer. You can be anything that you are doing and you are still a farmer. Especially what she said now, a mushroom, it doesn't mean you need to go and sit down with it for you to see it growing. Just do what you need to do, then it grows. It grows itself. What you just need is just proper management and everything like that. Yes, I'll be leaving. We are going to be rounding up the show now. But before we round up the show, I want you to talk more about your products again. So probably maybe when you're talking about them, I'll be bringing them on the screen. So probably you'll be talking about this is what this is called. This is what it's made from, and this is the price. And probably we can also supply in large quantity. And I want to also ask, can you supply in large quantity? Let's say I want to do a party now, and I want to use mushroom as souvenir. Do you have that capacity to do that? And so let's start with that. Then we are going to wrap up the show. Yeah.
Oh, of course. So let me start with your last note. Definitely, right? Definitely. If you want to use mushroom as a souvenir for any of your events, we can cater to that. Yeah, so this is king oyster mushrooms. It is very meaty and lovely, right? We have people making suya from this and it tastes amazing. It tastes amazing. It is packed with loads of antioxidants, loads of antioxidants. So if you're in the spice industry, right, you would want to consider having the king oyster mushroom powder as an ingredient in making one of your spice. It's really amazing. It just gives a burst of flavors. And then the oyster mushroom powder, it's also very versatile. You can use this in just about anything, right? As a mother, you could use this, you could add this to your baby cereal, you could use it as spice in cooking. As long as your baby is 6 months and has started solid, you could use this in making any of the dishes at home. You could also use it in baking, making muffins, making pancakes. You could just do a lot with it. And then the lion's mane mushroom powder, this is the lion's mane mushroom is a very interesting kind of mushrooms, right? We have a lot of work, a lot of studies around these mushrooms as a means to help children with special needs, autistic children, people fighting or battling depression, anxiety. These mushrooms, lion's mane mushrooms, you could go and read and really look up on it. You have any case of an Alzheimer or dementia in your family where after a while your parents begin to forget, that they lost memory loss, right? This mushroom is very, very important. Even as a woman, some women have what they call the pregnancy or childbirth brain, where after you give birth, you begin to have forget things, we begin to become so absent-minded. Lion's mane mushroom is something you should try, and 100 grams goes for 5,000 naira. So the shiitake mushroom is a very meaty kind of mushrooms. It is very meaty and yummy. So this is like I wouldn't say it's my very best, but it's something I really enjoy to work with. It is very nice, and the powder has this very thick umami flavors. So for a spice processor who is making spices that replaces seasoning cubes, shiitake mushroom is the go-to mushrooms for you. Yeah.
I
And
think this
then
is the last one.
yeah, so we have oyster mushrooms. So there are other products, but yeah, the oyster mushrooms is a very versatile kind of mushrooms. It is really interesting. It is delicious. It just gives you that very chewy taste, right? But once you cook it well, it just depends on what you want. It could be chewy, it could be well cooked. You could use this to enjoy a suya recipe. You could use this to make your mushroom shawarma. So I talked about mushroom shawarma earlier, right? So it could do that for you. We share a lot of recipes. So if you're buying mushrooms and you need recipe, we also do that just to allow you have the best experience with the product. And then we also have something we call the Mushroom Meals Hangout. So it's more like a pop-up where you can come in and enjoy meals made with mushrooms, and we work on a four-course meal all made with mushrooms. So we have something like mushroom pepper soup. We have something like ofada sauce made with just mushrooms. We have something like soup, ogbono soup, or egusi soup made with assorted mushrooms. And then we have the mushroom kebab. So it's just an initiative to show people the possibilities that lies within mushrooms and how you could actually enjoy having a mushroom meal. We do this once in a while, so you could check us out on social media, Instagram, Farms Global, to know more about it, or the number on the screen to further the conversation on any of the areas you pick interest about what we've discussed so far. Thank you.
Okay, my own question is this: we are wrapping up already, but when is the next hangout?
Okay, so we're about to have one in Abuja. We've had 4 so far. We're about to have one in Abuja during the protest, so we had to shift, but we'll be having one in Lagos this September ending.
Sorry, don't. You must not. I must not carry that too. I must not carry. I must definitely be there. I will definitely be there by God's grace, because I would love to see some of these things we are talking about. Mushroom pepper soup. I'm talking about, this is awesome. I would love to have a feel of this. Yes. Thank you very much for your time, for talking to us on this show, at least for letting us know what some of the things that we can get from mushroom. It is awesome. It is very, very nice talking to you. So your number is 081 32414770. So people can just check and at least get back to you and on what they need. You can also supply in big time when you want to use it as souvenir. So this is a good one from you. My name is Garuba Solomide. You know what we do is just promoting our farmers and letting people know what they do, and they have put a lot of effort in it. I must commend your effort again for choosing what you do, what you choose to do. You are solving a problem. You have a problem, then from your own problem, you decided to provide a solution to a problem. Yes, and this is a question that we want to wrap up with. He said, I want to know, does that mean we have different types of mushroom, or are the end product making it called those different names? Okay, I think I will answer that for you. It is just one mushroom, I think maybe oyster or something, but from that one product, from that raw material she make. Is that, am I answering your question? Sorry. Yeah, answer that question. Sorry. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so there are 1,000 varieties of mushrooms. There are so many varieties of mushrooms. So oyster mushroom is one of the variety. Shiitake mushroom is another variety. King oyster is another variety. There are so many varieties of mushrooms. A lot.
Joseph, thank you for asking that question, because I don't know we have a lot of varieties of mushroom. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I'm misinterpreting you. Now I think this is a good one. So that means all those products are made from different varieties of mushroom. So, but they are still mushrooms. So it is a good one from you. So thank you very much for coming on board. We really appreciate the fact that you are trying to feed the nation with your innovation, with your ideas, with your everything that you do. Thank you very much for doing that. And we hope to collaborate and work more with you, because this is coming to Badagry very soon. We are coming up with something very soon in Badagry, at least, especially in the area of the student, and especially in the area of schools and everything like that. So let's see how this works, and let's see what we can do. This can also be an empowerment program for women, youth in agriculture, something that they can start at their backyard that is not too capital intensive. So I said thank you, Mr. Olumide, and thank you, Ms. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. I think you've been able to learn one or two things on our show today. Yes, till I come your way next time, I'd always say this, that please help me to share this video so that it gets to people that need it. I know you need it too, but share the video to get to people that need it. Tell a friend to tell a friend that, yes, there is something you can get from mushroom. And when I'm talking about mushroom, think about Etimbuk Global Limited. Anything you need about mushroom, they have it, and they're going to definitely make it available for you. Till I come your way next time, yes, I will say bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, and God bless you.
Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilé wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́, á máa jalè. Farming is not just a job. Farming is a way of life. A desolate land is a land thirsty of farmers. And because we know how important farmers are to every nation, that's why we reintroduce to you the Voice of the Farmers. Voice of the Farmers is a media brand that celebrates education.